My guest is my good friend and just one of the best people in this business, Carey Nordstrand, everybody. Let's hear a big clap. Yes! Carey, so good to see
Hey
you.
man,
As always, man. I was so stoked when you said yes, you do this, and I thank you so much for joining, man. And
it's a
sorry for
pleasure.
the
Yeah.
little delay. We got some people on. Sonia from Nordstrand here to fact check. Yes, we love Sonia.
Ooh,
Yeah. Who's that? Wait, she's probably like next door or something, isn't she? She's like right there.
y- about 60
Over
feet that
there.
way.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we got Mock Base. Good morning, Mock Base. Good to see you. Marcel Ribas, thanks. Carey and Steve together. This will be awesome. Thanks, Marcel. Donnie Tesso, what's up, fellas? What's going
Hey
on?
Donnie.
That's awesome. So we got to catch up in Nam, and it was so good to see you. And I'm gonna jump right in to the bass on your left shoulder with your new pickups. Other way, yeah. Sorry if we're reversed. Yeah,
This one here.
yeah, the multi-coils that you just came out with. We're going to go through some history right now in a little bit, but you just developed some brand new pickups that at first I thought they were the big rigs, but those are, what are those?
So this is the cover.
Okay.
They're multi-coil pickups. The thing about this is the cover, it's exactly the same as the big rigs. And
Okay.
there's a couple of things that are an issue with that. One is exactly the same drum set right there.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as a big rig, so you can't tell them apart visually, which I was like, we can't be doing that. The guy that was developing the pickup for me went with that approach. The other thing is when you put a pickup that has the poles slanted this way in the bass, and then you put in a fan fret instrument, the poles are in the wrong direction.
Oh.
So what we did, the production model is flipped.
Oh,
So
interesting.
so it'll look more like that.
Okay.
Right.
Very cool.
The poles will be on the high side,
Mhm.
the neck side on the bass side instead of
Okay.
it gets in the weeds with it. Anyway, multi-coil
Yeah.
pickup, yes. So here's that inside. There's 5
So basic
coils,
5 coils. Okay. Wow.
and there's the 4 string obviously have 4 coils. The concept was to make a pickup that we could make one coil and use it in any number of different 4, 5, 6 string packages, and then
Okay.
it'll sound consistent across all iterations. This one has a small hum canceling coil on the end of it because it's
Nice.
5 coils, and any odd number of coils won't be hum canceling specifically unless they're modified to be
Yeah.
imbalanced. But we want them all to sound the same, so that's why we put that little coil there, and they work really, really well hum canceling. And they're people ask a lot of questions. Can you wire them series parallel? These come in one mode, and they're
Yeah.
wired. Every other coil is opposite wind, opposite polarity.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a almost like a helix. Or when we were trying to come up with a name for it, we were thinking DNA or something like that, but that's not where the name ended up anyway. So yeah.
Are they Alnico, ceramic?
Yes.
Yes,
They are
both.
both. They are both.
That's okay.
So you see there, the pole situation here is you've got 2 poles that show, and then one in the middle that's underneath and doesn't show. The problem with a passive, this is designed to be a passive pickup. The problem with a passive multi-coil pickup is getting enough output out of each coil. Because when you strip it down and if it's one pole and it's just wire wrapped around one pole, getting enough output from that pole piece is very challenging.
Interesting.
So we built these structures up out of our angled design that have 3 magnets in the top, and there's also some ceramic bars in the bottom that are implemented in a scheme that helps boost the overall power of the system. And then we get totally perfectly usable, nice output out of the pickup, and the thing brings clarity and richness in a way that I haven't heard before. So.
Well, I got to play that bass at NAMM. You had it at that little hang, and
Yeah.
my issue, like usually humbuckers will have a little bit of a scoopy sound. That doesn't. That has that low mid punch that you don't normally find in humbuckers.
And well, the set that you played, actually, this is a kind of a word of caution about doing things last minute. That set, I changed the pickups for a wind revision Thursday morning of the NAMM show.
Oh my God.
So you heard them before the swap. That morning
Okay.
I changed them.
Hmm.
And then the rest of the show, they were too dark because the
Oh.
wind revision we did was, I didn't really get a chance to try it here. I tried it through one of my rigs and just real quick went over it. And it was, we were trying to get the top end right on this
Okay.
thing, which is interesting because it's a different animal entirely. So the way you make tweaks on a conventional pickup is kind of compounded. It's not quite the same. So we made a tweak that I thought was going to give me more clear top end, and it didn't. And I brought that to NAMM, and a bunch of people played it, and I was listening to it going, I don't know, this is NAMM. I can't really hear things really. It still kind of has the quality of it, but it wasn't really correct. Now I came back and we did one more revision, and now it's dialed, and it's ready to rock. So you heard it, but that situation was pretty compromised through a set of headphones. And So
I'll have to come up to the shop and try them out. So I know that, and again, we're going to kind of jump around here, but working in a company, coming up with an idea to, inception to R&D to actual production, has this particular pickup been a little longer than others? I know it varies, but how has this one, come to fruition from inception? Has it been?
Well, let's go. Yeah. There's some stories here that are kind of fun. I mean, it all starts with, a close encounter with Justin Chancellor, really.
Oh, nice.
He came to the shop. Scott Reeder brought him to the shop after they went to one of these big Warwick shows and Warwick festivals back however many, I think it was 2019, maybe 18, somewhere in there. He brought a bass out and was interested in some pickups for a Warwick that he was having made. And, we developed and made some pickups. That's where the big Blademan kind of came together for the first time. And I did the best I could with what we had to kind of give him something that I thought would work for him. I even made him a bass.
Oh, wow. Nice.
There's a video on YouTube you can go find if you want to see that thing a little more. Actually, the guy that owns that might be interested in selling it too. Your friend Howard.
Howard has it.
Yeah.
Ah.
He does. So anyway, the genesis of this pickup really started at that point when I was afforded the unbelievable opportunity to take a set of pickups out of a wall bass of his. It was kind of a second string instrument, not a main instrument, but it was one that he used regularly. It's one that he knew. And I swapped in some of our stuff, and we started kind of playing around with some ideas and some preamps and trying to get in the ballpark. I mean, it's pretty sacrilegious, but I was also able to study the pickups when I did that. And so I really got a lot of information and the actual circuitry a little bit too. I looked at that, but not too deeply because I realized quickly that I don't want to copy these. This is not something that looks sensible given our technical resources at the time, especially on the circuitry side of it. So the idea that I had was, how about we take my the angled pole thing and make it individual pickup for each string. That's where that concept really crystallized. Okay. Like, this is what I'm going to pursue when we have time and when I have some resources. And so we started actually physically working on and making working on this samples like at least a year ago, probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I have a fella here named Antonio, and he's been the one that's doing all the work on this. And so we just have, we get together and we talk about, I'd say, I want this, and I make him a little drawing, and he sort of goes and, gets as far as he can until he has a question. He comes to me, he asks me, and then we keep going. And then he'll say, hey, I got a revision for you. I put it in your bass. You can go check it out. And so it's been that for about like a year and a half. Okay. Almost for like the first long stretch, a month or two would go by, and then towards the end we're down to maybe a week between iterations. But we've probably tested 10 different versions of this thing over the last year and a half. So
sometimes, you have to do that. And we have some comments. Sonia from Nordstrand, we love Donnie. Yes, we do too. Jeff Dam, that is a gorgeous. Is that a solid maple? Yeah, is that Nordy solid flame maple, or is that the top?
So
It's
that
solid flame.
base, yeah, it's solid spalted flame maple, and it's book matched too, which means it started life when I got it, nearly 4 inches thick. Yeah,
And
so I
then-
cut it in half. It's opened up.
Yeah,
It's soft maple too, so this is actually not heavy.
yeah. I've played that
and
bass
this
a
is
lot,
ma-
man.
Most people are pretty familiar with this. It's been around 20 years.
Yeah, it's been.
I made this for myself in 2004 after the 2004 NAMM show, and I had just gotten my laser machine, so it's got my name scanned and lasered into the finger.
As
It's
well
the only
it
one that
should.
has ever had that on it. So
as well it should. Yeah.